Welcome to the Trafalgar 10-day Scandinavian capital tour. We are in Stockholm, Sweden, and today is day 6. And we're just really excited because we're going to go drive around Stockholm. We did a little bit yesterday, and then we're going to go to the Maritime Museum and see the Vasa. The Vasa is a warship that sank after about 15 minutes afloat. It sat at the bottom of the water for over 300 years, and then they raised it in almost perfect condition because of the water conditions. So that'd be pretty cool. So let's go check out Stockholm, Sweden. Welcome to the City Hall of Stockholm. So this is 110 years old. It is also the location of the Nobel Prize dinner and banquet. So they will all come through a door over there. They will go into the second story. They will come in through the blue hall, which we'll see. They'll come down, they'll eat their dinner on their nice china with gold-plated silverware, and then they'll go into the gold room where they'll have the dance, and the rest of the banquet will be there. So let's go check out the City Hall. this Golden Hall is where the Nobel dinner used to take place, but it got so big they had to go out to that other hall that we were just at. Well, now they do the ball here, so they'll go down, they'll eat, they come up here and dance. So as you can see, there's a bunch of three-dimensional cutouts here. The brick was actually laid and then they were chiseled out to make this, so it took even longer to build this because the bricks were bigger than what you see now because everything was chiseled out. we're about to start the optional experience of Maritime Stockholm. We're going to go walk along the seawall for a little bit, and then we're going to go check out the Maritime Museum. So let's go check out Maritime Stockholm. How cool is that? That boat that they were working on, that old one, it's over 200 years old, and they're going to build a replica from scratch. So that building that we were right by, it's a school that teaches people how to do shipbuilding the way the Nordics used to do it. So if you see that blue amusement park ride, then to the right is a crane that looks like a giraffe. Right where that opening's at, where that boat is right now, that's where they found the Vasa. Now, they couldn't find it because when it sank, they pulled all the cannons off of it, and then the king had them take down the masts. So the masts were brought down, so it's below water. And it wasn't until 333 years later that somebody heard the story about the Vasa and started looking, and then they found it. So we're going to see that here in a little bit. 98% of what we see is original, so pretty cool. The Vasa was originally supposed to just be one deck gun or gun deck, but the king of Sweden had an enemy, his cousin, the king of Poland, and the King of Poland had a double-decker cannon. So the King of Sweden called up the shipyards, like, give me another one. Well, they never built anything like that before. So if you notice, the bottom cannon deck, the portholes are bigger than the top. So they put 24-pound cannons at the bottom and 12 at the top. Well, somebody put the heavier cannons at the top and the lighter ones on the bottom, and they knew that was unstable, but nobody wanted to tell the king because they didn't want to disappoint him. So the ship sunk. I think that was probably a bigger disappointment. %98 of what you're seeing is original, and what makes it even more phenomenal is if you look at the architecture of the designs on the portholes and throughout the top deck, for it to not have rotted away even just from being wet is phenomenal. I mean, like, look at this. Amazing is that stayed intact for over 300 years. The ship was built in the 1600s, and so we're 400 years old now. This museum is really cool because you can go on the ground level, this first cannon deck level, and then you can go up another flight and be right at the top of the ship. This ship is so huge, it's impossible to get it all captured into one photo. It's just amazing how they could build stuff like this back in that time frame. They have a vantage point that we're going to go check out. You can see it long-wise. They don't have one that you can see horizontal, but this will give you a good idea of how big the ship really is. give you an idea of how big the ship is, I'm on a raised platform and I'm still not as tall as that beam right there for the first cross member. So from this vantage point, you can see from adults walking in front of it how small they look compared to how massive the ship is. And this video and pictures are not going to do it justice. It's insane. It's probably like the length of a football field, maybe longer. It will definitely be longer if you include the front part right there. But it's 40 feet tall or so. I mean, it's huge. It's huge. Another cool thing about this museum is they have plenty of places to sit in unique spaces. So I've seen people sitting here eating, seen people sitting here sketching the boat, taking pictures, just sitting back and looking at how amazing it is. It's a really good museum, especially since it's just a ship. I really recommend that if you're in Stockholm, you come check it out. You won't be disappointed. This is the Vasa's longboat, and it was preserved just as well as the Vasa. So this would be either rowed or sailed, and it usually was used for communication between ships. Check out how massive this keel is. So I pulled up the demographics for the spared part of the Vasa. So the spared length was 69 meters or 226 feet, and that's an estimate. So it's between the perpendiculars is 156 feet. The beam is 11.7 meters or 38 feet. And the height is 52.5 meters or 172 feet from keel to main mast trunk. And that's an estimated height. Pretty big. Did you see how long that line is? It's 11:48 on a Friday. Group, individual. So I really recommend you try and come in here with a group or like right when they first open. This is the dry dock. So just to give you an idea of how high the water was, when you look at the ship would have been like right in here as a dry dock. Pretty cool how they incorporated the dry dock into the museum. So if you see behind me, you see that right there? Those are fake masts. They go behind that structure, but that's to give you an idea of how tall that ship was. So from inside to the roof, and then you go up that amount, that gives you the total height of the Vasa. And that concludes our time at the Vasa Museum. What'd you think? It's pretty impressive, right? Well, if you have any questions about it, let me know, and then I'll see you next time on the next trip.